In 1997, an elite logistics engineer was given a job on the docks that he did not particularly want. He was promptly promoted from running forklifts in the warehouse to overseeing the entire operation. Today, still working his crummy job, he survives by getting unusual items past the authorities. If you have a shipment, if no one else can help, and if he's not on a break, maybe you can hire for your imports.
Hello, is that Failure Imports?
Good morning, sir. Yes, it is. What can I do for you today?
I've heard you can get stuff past the law.
Well, that's not something we like to brag about, but certainly I can make sure that prying eyes of the authorities can stay away from your cargo.
I've got a container load of dubious plastic Kalashnikovs coming in from Georgia. I need that stashed, no questions asked.
Right you are, sir. When exactly will these be picked up?
In about a couple of days. Container's got a green heart on it. Don't ask.
Right, so to confirm, that's a container of plastic Kalashnikovs coming in from Georgia that you want me to hold on for a couple of days until your associates turned up and the container's marked with a green heart.
Yeah, you got that.
Well, sir, your luck is in. This week we are offering a special on the storage of replica plastic firearms. So we'll be quite happy to take care of this for you for the small sum of £10,000. Does that work for you?
Nice. Money will be in the last box.
A pleasure doing business with you, sir. I look forward to working with you again. Why don't you have a nice afternoon? Now this might look like it's relatively straightforward. After all you've got to do is drive this pig of a loader up to the truck and grab the container off the back. Now, it might say coffee time on it, but we all know that actually contained within it, fresh from Georgia, are some plastic replica Kalashnikovs. Quite why such a thing is necessary, who knows? But it's my job and I'm being handsomely paid in order to put it somewhere safe. Now, it might look to you like I'm just taking my sweet time in lining this thing up to pick it up properly, but no, I'm being extra careful. You might mistake this for incompetence, the inability to line up a container within a matter of moments, but no, I'm just being cautious. Pink Kalashnikovs, I've always found, are the most fragile of the replicas. And if you don't take your time and properly ensure that they're lifted with all due diligence and care, you can fracture the plastic and render the value of the item, well, almost null and void. Now, I promised the gentleman in question that I'd put it somewhere secure, where the authorities wouldn't investigate too heavily. And I picked out a location earlier on that should serve the purpose here nicely. It's as I like to call it, in plain sight, which I read once was the perfect place to store anything when you don't want someone looking at it. This is, again, no time to be hasty. It's always worth straightening up a good 4 or 5 times before actually placing the container on the floor, because you don't want to fracture the plastic. Again, fractured plastic reduces the sale value of the Kalashnikovs that you're shipping. So here we go. Job's a good un. Marvellous. I think I'll go and have a little bit of a break. You really do need to get used to driving this thing around. Other than the train unloader, whatever the hell that's really called, I've been working here long enough, I should know by now, but I'm calling it a train unloader. Other than that, this is about it. For your initial career in the import and export of illicit goods from your storage yard, you're using this tippy piece of junk here. Now, it will pick things up if you line them up, and it will take you time to line them up. The steering is on the rear of the vehicle, so your turning circle is supposedly really good, whereas in fact it's just pitiful. And then of course your line of sight is such that when you lower your containers down, you're not entirely sure if you're in the right place or not. Occasionally you will try and lower your container and immediately crush the cab of the lorry that was sat there waiting for it, or truck if you are of that persuasion. And no matter how tempted you are to just whack the thing down, hit release and go, there you go pal, all yours, take it away, that doesn't work. The good news is that you can at least rotate it, so you can get close and then just give it a little touch, let go, get the thing out of the way, and then go and have a cup of tea. Because let's face it, having a cup of tea is far more entertaining than this. There it goes. That's one of those special new trucks where the wheels don't properly turn.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Oh, is that failure import?
It certainly is, madam, and it's a pleasure to hear from you today.
Oh, marvellous, thank you. And I understand, young man, you can keep delicate items safe.
That is indeed the case, madam. Our speciality is ensuring that precious items are not only kept in a safe place, but are kept out of the prying eyes of the authorities. What was it you wished to store, miss?
What? I have a container of ceremonial haggis arriving in the next couple of days and need the authorities to be, let us say, unaware. Would that be possible?
More than possible, madam. It's what we specialise in.
You're such a kind, obliging young man.
No problem at all, madam. And you're in luck, because one of our other customers has cancelled their slot this week. So, for the low, low price of £10,000, we can store your container in exactly the right place, in exactly the right conditions.
Oh, yes. Your payment will be delivered when the drivers pick the package up, yes.
Most kind, madam. And, I hate to say it, but we do take cash only.
Cash only? Oh, all right. I'll have to see what I can dig up. Metaphorically speaking. Much obliged. Thank you very much.
So, you remember I was saying that you couldn't see a great deal out of this cab? Well, when you're trying to lift off a container from the top of the stack, more often than not you'll push the entire stack over. You can't tell when you've got it high enough. Now, in an ideal world, you'd get out of the cab, walk around to the side and go, yeah, needs another half metre or so there. But frankly, who's got the time for that? Anyway, once you've got hold of the thing, you can really rip around. There are a couple of things to watch out for. Number one, lampposts. Hitting one of those is no fun. Number two, rear wheel steering. That's right. You're trying to take a corner and of course the back of the vehicle is doing the steering. So you'll get hit on fences the entire time. Which is another thing about working in this particular yard. All of the walls are positioned in such a way as to make it more difficult for you to actually unload or load anything. So while you're trying to line up with the transshipment area, as I am doing here, what you'll find more often than not is you keep reversing into the wall. Fortunately, your vehicle is less than prone to damage, You can give it a fair whack of punishment before it gives you any grief at all. But as you'll see, what's more possible is reversing it into something you can't get out of. And at that point, it's time to get out of the cab, walk away, and blame someone else for it.
Subscribe now to make sure that you do not miss the next enthralling episode of Man in Forklift Truck, featuring illicit cargo such as reproduction IKEA furniture, the Killbot 9000, and a container load of highly flammable clockwork children's toys. Subscription saves lives.